Hello, handy viewers, such as you are. Hello, how you doing? It's been a while. It's been a tough year, I'll be honest. Anyway, you don't want to hear about that. Welcome to episode 25 of Don't Touch the Beard, in which I video, document, and then talk nonsense over games of Guild Ball. Right then, I can remember how to do this, honest. So here we are at Darksphere's new mega store in Shepherd's Bush. It is lovely. Go and check it out. No phone signal, but hey, can't have everything. I'm playing against Barry from Roll Better. I may have already mentioned that, as I'm going to come back and record the intro later. Peek behind the curtain. Barry has won the roll-off. I rolled a 2, he got a 3. We've dealt the cards, and he has elected for me to kick, such as you do. I'm alright with that. Yeah, Nav's kicking. They like kicking. It's a ball. We've generated the terrain using the Longshanks random terrain generator. So that is from the bottom of the pitch up, some rough ground, an obstacle, a barrier on the top left on screen, and another obstacle on your top right on screen. So a little sparse in terms of terrain. This terrain made by Broken Egg. Quite like it. More of a fan of 3D terrain normally, but I'm trying this out at the moment. A, it fits in the bag very nicely, and B, it makes measuring over it really, really nicely. And just to clarify, we have said that terrain is the little lump of neoprene, not the image on it. So it's not like it's got a shadow. I know some people do that, and very good as it is. Yeah, rosters, they should be a thing. So clearly my roster is fixed at Windfinder, Wander, Horizon, Ebb, Fathom, Azimuth, Angel, and Siren, because I'm playing a minor guild. And if you've not come across minor guilds before, this is a new thing this year from Steamforged. It is an 8-man team with only one captain and one mascot. I do receive a +1 bonus to the kicky receivey roll at the beginning of the game, and an additional plot card. Other than that, much smaller roster. Perhaps a more focused, simple playstyle. Not entirely sure, but there we are. Barry, in turn, Blacksmiths have 13 players, so maybe easier to discuss the one he's dropped, which for him is Veteran Cinder, for the highly admirable reason that she isn't painted yet. Now, if you want more information on Barry's choices around his Blacksmith team, and the Blacksmiths in general, I can highly recommend the Roll Better podcast on the Blacksmiths, which came out around the same sort of time, if not exactly the same time as my own deep dive into the Morticians at the beginning of Season 4. They do a fantastic interview with a friend of the show, Jamie Perkins, going through all things Blacksmith. So Barry, certainly a man who's been piloting Blacksmiths pretty much since they originally launched. A tough matchup for Navigators anyway, so this should be a real test of what I've learned of Navigators in the 5 games I think I'd played with them by this point. We shall see. On to the draft then. He declares Faris and Bolt to be his Master of the Forge and appropriate apprentice. I predictably go with the Navigator auto-includes that are Windfinder and Wander. If you're after more information on the Navigators, I did produce a rather lengthy deep dive into... rather lengthy is not the right word. Like, there's about 3.5 hours of content, but each podcast or video is about 20 minutes long. So if you want to go and have a look... Now, bear in mind, this was done at the beginning of their announcement. Things have changed a little bit, and we will be going back over those and sort of bringing the Navigators stuff up to speed. But yes, so he's gone with Faris as Master of the Forge and Bolt as her apprentice. Windfinder and Wander for me. I take Ebb, he takes Hearth. I choose Fathom because Fathom. He takes Furnace, Horizon, and Iron, Siren, and Cast. So this is a bit of a relief for me, as I was expecting to see Burnish for the much vaunted Lament configuration that the Blacksmiths can pull off, where you stick Iron in cover next to Burnish under his aura of saying no to character plays. And this is what me and Barry are discussing. I was like, a bit surprised not to see this. And he's just detailing, were there more cover in his half? He would have done that, but given like the nearest cover is centre pitch, that's not a place he really wants to be. And whilst he could have swapped table edge to make use of the cover in the top right, then everyone sort of tucks away in the top right, and he of course wants to do a bit of footballing himself. So whilst that was wholly what I was expecting, really thorough and nice explanation from Barry about whilst that's a really good thing to do, of course Positioning and table and terrain plays a huge part of Guild Ball, and it's one of those things that I've said it on the podcast. I'm rambling now. I've said it on the podcast, is that ultimately podcasts won't help you. Like, the single most important skill in any miniatures-based wargaming is positioning and board state. So hopefully this is a nice explanation, a sort of nice visual thing of why, whilst that's amazing, why it's not applicable in this state. Yeah? Cool. Nice one, Barry. My deployment then, that is Horizon up top, Fathom with the ball next to him, then Ebb, Windfinder, Wander and Siren down at the bottom. Barry then, right up top is Captain Faris, and then coming down we've got Cast, Hearth, Bolt, Furnace and then Iron at the bottom. And I'm putting coin number 15 on the line for this game. If you're unfamiliar with the Coin Wars, this is a community run event here in the UK, where a number of coins are being distributed out throughout the country whenever you play them. Put them up for grabs, you can be challenged for them. If you're at a tournament, you must be challenged for them. And then in May, I think it is, there's going to be an invitational tournament for the coin holders. Lovely little community project, that. Well done, Dave. So the Navigators guild rule, which I'll bring up now and then never put on screen again during this game, is precise calculations. They may re-roll any of number of dice for its attacks and its kicks. Yeah. Interestingly, they don't all have to be done at once. You know, you can do them one at a time, if you wanna. So I jog Fathom forward near to the terrain in the centre of the pitch. So I kind of want to make use of it for her heroic. In hindsight, this was a mistake as it severely limits my angle of kickoff. But, you know, that's the advantage of watching these things back 30 times or so. The kick is accurate. I mean, it would be, wouldn't it? And the ball ends up where you see it on screen. Yay, visual media. So Barry allocates at lightning fast speed, almost as if he's done this before. Bolt 3, Cast 3, Faris 3, Furnace none, Hearth 3, Iron none. Look, he's done it in faster than I can say it. I'm going to have to slow the footage down. I, in turn, put a far more leisurely 2 on Windfinder, 2 on Wander, 1 on Ebb, 2 on Horizon, 4 on Fathom, and 2 on Siren. So we start with Faris, who has a sprint downfield, snapping the ball as she goes, spending 1 influence for the sprint, and then dumps the ball off. The ball snaps to Bolt, and Faris puts quick foot on him. So after a period of measurement with Fathom, I decide that I can't do the first activation goal. Although looking at this back, I think I can, which is frustrating. But there we go. It would have been crowded out and all sorts of things, but you know, roll the dice. So in the end, I activate Wander, who takes a sprint forward, ending up sort of perpendicular to Fathom. I then make use of guides to pull Fathom further down the pitch, hopefully giving her a bit more manoeuvrability. I don't think this was the right play in hindsight. I think I could have acrobatics into that cover, used the point of momentum that I get from kicking off for a dodge back out, and then probably gotten a charge in. Whether or not that charge will be successful, I will never know, but I should have gone for it, I think. Oh well. So Furnace has himself a little jog and puts himself within an inch of Bolt, sort of closing the cage and making sure that ball is very tight and very closely guarded. Boo! I activate Horizon, who has a little jog forward, and then I make use of Stellar Navigation for a 5-inch dodge, and as has become a habit of me, I've over-allocated influence on Horizon turn 1, so it's 2 in from the bin, nothing doing. Boo. So Baz activates Hearth and puts instruction on both Bolt and Cast, giving them +2 net hits on their next attack. He then puts Use This on Bolt, giving him a 2-inch melee. Nice. So I do a bit more measuring with Fathom and ascertain if I want to try and get a charge in on the 4-2 Bolt due to Sentinel, that I would be down 2 dice due to crowd outs, due to the positioning. I need everything to hit, which, even with the rerolls, I don't like the odds. I think I've left it too late, sadly, for the Fathom run. I'm just going to have to see what happens and see if I can get a snap back goal, maybe. That's not easy to say. It's too early. So, Windfinder goes for a little jog and puts full speed ahead onto Siren, meaning that she gains +0/+2 move and may charge or sprint for free. Amazing buff this. I get so much use of it. Really, really good stuff. Iron goes for a little jog and shuts the door. So yeah, this little scrum of every single Blacksmith player just kind of closes its doors. I'm sure every single Smoke player is absolutely salivating at this right now. I am, however, panicking. So, due to the aforementioned full speed ahead, Siren sprints forward 11 inches for free. I then make use of Seduced and cheat massively as it costs 3, not 2 now. So, apologies to burying my opponent. I've literally just realised that. Oh, the shame. So that is tack 4 versus 4s and 2s. 1 net hit gets the momentous push, and I push Bolt directly towards Siren. I was, of course, after the momentous tackle. Although, again, in hindsight, I don't think it would have made an enormous amount of difference, as Bolt could have got Faris to pass the ball straight to him anyway, due to I'm open. It's going well, this. Damn cheat in use of Seduced. Oh, I'm really annoyed about that. Never mind, never mind. So Bolt activates and makes use of tutelage so that he can have a free character play, as he is starting his activation within 6 inches of Faris. I mean, he's starting his activation within an inch of Faris, frankly. He then makes use of his other at the start of his activation ability, and they are both at the start of the activation ability, so they can be used simultaneously for a free jog, thanks to stamina, which is affected by the quick foot that Faris put on him earlier. Lovely. If you want to know how to use match experience on Hearth, this is masterful. So Bolt activates. Bolt's already activated. Bolt passes the ball to cast. The pass is successful, and because of match experience, both Bolt and cast make a 4-inch dodge, paying the momentum for one of them, and match experience does the other. Words in the correct order. You get it. You get it. So due to I'm open, cast then passes the ball back to Bolt, which is successful, and then again, because cast is within the 4 inches of the match experience aura, she takes a dodge forward. She spends the momentum for cast to make the move, for Bolt to make a dodge forward. And what we've got here is the principal striker and the principal beater on this team with influence. You could argue that for Iron as well, have moved significantly up the pitch without using their advance for the turn. This is beautifully done, and it was a real eye-opener on how match experience can be used and what you can do with it. Now Bolt finishes this advance within 2 inches of Fathom, and cast is fully loaded right on the centre line. So Bolt, with his 2-inch melee, declares an attack on Fathom. That is tack 5 versus 5s. He gets 2 net hits plus the 2 from instruction. He's a momentous double dodge, and the counter attack that I panicked and declared is useless. So Bolt has his other jog, again 6 inches, and gets himself within tap-in range of goal. I wonder how this will go. Simple tap-in from Bolt there. Blacksmiths 4, Navigators 0. So I kick the ball out and have one of those, fine, it's going to be one of those games moments where the ball goes 5 inches in the one and disappears off towards the bottom end of the pitch, towards all my models that have activated. Yay. So I have a jog with Ebb to engage cast with the view of buying an attack. I wonder, watching this back, if Ebb is within 8 inches of the ball, because of course with his 7-inch jog he could have gotten there and maybe passed the ball off. Yeah. Not decision making goodness. So that is tack 4 versus 4s and 1s, 2 net hits. I take Sprung a Leak, which does 2 points of damage and -1 armor. So a plan has clearly formulated in Barry's mind about how he can retrieve the ball that I've left free and score another goal. So much measuring and conversation ensues, and it looks very, very possible. So that is tack 5 versus 4s and O's is 6 net hits due to instruction, and he goes for the non-momentous push dodge shield throw. So shield throw will do 2 points of damage, which enables swift strikes, allowing him to get a further 2 inches of dodge. So he gets 3 inches of dodge off hitting poor Ebb, and then sprints to within 6 inches of the goal, taking parting blows from Siren along the way, which, let's be honest, I shouldn't have even bothered rolling, too used to playing Brewers, and does inconsequential damage. Beautiful play by Barry here, can't fault it whatsoever, and I'm punished for leaving the ball loose. So Casters snap the ball along route and squares up on goal, scoring a screamer. It is now 8-0 to the Blacksmiths. So the ball kicks out and lands between Windfinder and Wander. So in an effort to generate some momentum and also to keep the ball as far away from the Blacksmiths as possible, Fathom declares a charge against Cast, snapping the ball along the way. So that's tack 8 versus 4s and O's. I get 7 net hits, so I take the momentous tackle, double dodge, momentous dodge, generating mainly just 2 points of momentum. So I pass the ball to Siren in an effort really to sort of dodge her back, making use of teamwork actions to keep her kind of out of the way of the Blacksmiths at this stage. By another attack against Cast, so that's tack 4 versus 4s and O's. Even with the rerolls, I get 2 net hits, so I take 1 point of damage. So even with Sprung a Leak affecting Cast, removing her armour, and the rerolls, 3 net hits is beyond me. Really goes to show something that me and Connor were talking about on the Navigators podcast, that charge is absolutely vital to generating momentum on so many of the Navigators players. Initiative for turn 2 then, Barry plays Lone Striker, I play Grudge Match. So we tie, roll off, Barry wins, and elects to go first. So Barry puts Singled Out on to Siren, I in turn put on Cast, and he allocates 3 to Bolt, 3 to Cast, 5 to Faris, 1 to Furnace, and none to Hearth or Iron. I in turn put 6 on Windfinder, none on Wander, 3 on Ebb, 2 on Horizon, none on Fathom, and none on Siren. So Baz activates Faris, puts Quickfoot on himself, and then sprints round the back of Ebb, engaging Siren and crowded out by Ebb. Now due to Lone Striker and the crowd out from Ebb, she is down to tack, but Siren has singled out on her, so they all just nicely cancel each other out. So tack 6 versus 4s and O's, 2 net hits is the momentous tackle that he's looking for. So I declare the counter, as it's ostensibly my last opportunity to roll dice this game, and that's tack 4 versus 2s and 3s, no hits. There we go. Bum. So he has another swing at Siren, that is tack 6 versus 4s and O's, 3 net hits this time is a momentous double push, getting her out of the way. So Faris then pops her legendary ride off, giving her an additional 1-2 kick and allows her to make a kick without spending influence. He spends the momentum to make it a shot, spends momentum to cancel out the crowd out from Ebb, and there we have it folks, 12-0 to the Blacksmiths. Excellent play by Barry the whole way through, wonderful to see how he pilots them and really made them sort of footballing Blacksmiths sing. Brilliant work and a highly enjoyable match, mate. Look forward to the rematch, buddy. So twice in a row now on Don't Touch the Beard, I've gone down to members of the Roll Better podcast. Maybe give them a listen. They do go on a bit, I think it's fair to say, but you know, that's always been their way, and there's a lot of excellent quality content amongst them. In particular, I would highlight again their Guide to the Blacksmith Guild from Season 4 release. Thoroughly enjoying the Navigators at the moment. At the moment, I'm kind of delving into minor guilds, and specifically football-orientated minor guilds, because, you know, everyone else is suddenly playing a 4-1 grind-out takeout game, which I've been doing for years. So naturally, me being me, I've got to try and do something a little different. As you can see, working out brilliantly for me so far. If I don't get the opportunity, folks, have yourself a wonderful Christmas. I hope 2018 has been a fantastic year for you. I'd love to highlight, please, the wonderful people that have taken to sponsoring me on Patreon. Your contributions make an enormous difference to the affordability of the continuation of these projects. Not so much Don't Touch the Beard, but the podcast, be that Tales of the Free Cities and Beard Pod, Guild Ball videos, but for your ears, which I do with Panzer and Connor. I'd love to have more Tales of the Free Cities in the new year. I'd love to have more Beard Pod and more Don't Touch the Beard in the new year as well. I'd love to do more of everything, time willing. Thanks very much, folks, for coming along. You should be seeing on screen a beard. Please to be clicking should you wish to subscribe to be notified of when I upload nonsense like this again in the future. Equally, there are some playlists scattered about the screen where you can go and have a listen to other things what I have done. Alternatively, click in the search bar up the top and have a look for some kitten videos. They're always nice. Yeah, that's it. As ever, folks, I need a better outro.